I had a good week this week, So, I just wanted to brag on it a little bit because God put me through a lot, and it was all for the good. So, I may be smiling. This is because I'm still hyped up about it, But I just wanted to teach on staying forward and let the Spirit lead you a little bit. This I know we read this scripture a lot, we heard it a lot, but God gave me a different view of it. So I just want to share what He gave me on it. We're going to come from Matthew 16, 24 through 27. It reads, Then said Jesus unto his disciples, If any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? For the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works. What I got from it at first was like, just, you gaining everything, but you really sold out to get it. But what I got this time is that he's saying, get rid of the self part, which is the flesh, and follow him. Not just materialistic stuff. He's saying if I look at it like, if you look at the worldly, fleshly things, it's always a level you're trying to go to. You ain't gonna never be satisfied. I don't care how much money you got. You always want to go higher. When you get there, you be like, I want $1 million. When you get $1 million, then you want $2 million. That's why all the people that got all this money, you notice they still miserable. That's because they not following the Spirit. Matthew 10:34. It says, Think not, I am come to send peace on earth. I come not to send peace by a sword, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man foe shall be they on his own household. He that loveth the father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth his son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. So I read that and was like, why is he come to drop the sword and judgment and all that? But what it's saying is, anything before him is not what he wants. He wants us to be with him personally on an individual thing. So if you got your kids in front of him, then you're not giving it to him. It's a different feeling when you have kids that saved and they wilding out and they doing things. You already know God gonna take care of them. But if your kid ain't get themselves to him, you already know the results of that. Especially when they know it. It's a difference between if they don't know no better, then then God will still protect them in that way because they don't know. But when they know and they getting the food that they need and they reject it, I'm gonna let him do it, give me the opportunity, and when he presents it to me, take full advantage. So we left from Bible studies on Wednesday, and I don't know what it was, man. You know how you say discern the spirits? Sometimes you think you're discerning the spirit, but it's really still you. I really firsthand experienced that Wednesday. It was like it was right next to me, man. And we left Bible studies, and my daughter was just reading. I'm like, what you reading? And she was like, I wanted to know more about God. And I just felt like he was just sitting there, hey, shoot this out there. So I was like, all right. I gave her that, and she was just eating it up. But then I was like, so what's the problem? Why you don't want to be saved? And I explained it to him. See, sometimes we sugarcoat stuff too much that it kills him. If you love him, you'll give him the truth, unadulterated, nothing. Just give it to him. And so I finally like, you know what? Look, this is what's going to happen. But God was just giving me these scriptures, man. I'm not the type that know all of them like offhand. I got to look through stuff all the time. And he was just giving, hey, give him this. Give him this. I'm like, oh, man. Give him room. I'm like, I'm good. She's eating it up. And then I said, do you want to get saved? She said, no, I'll wait till tomorrow. So I didn't want to kill the situation, and I left it alone. And then we got at home. God said, shoot this one in there. So I shot to her, and she was hyped. She was like, you know what? I'm ready to do it now. You know, and that's the thing, man. Sometimes we let the Spirit lead us halfway and then let the flesh take over the rest. And it kills the situation. But when God gives you that thing, man, and you follow him to the fullest, man, you will never go wrong. Never. It's a big burden when you know they may go left, they may do this, they may do that, but God got it. Now all I have to do is keep giving what I know that he give me to her. Look at, I'm going to give y'all another one, Galatians 5, 16 and 17. And it says, this I say to them, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. See, what we do, we follow the flesh, and if they're going against each other and we following the flesh, then evidently we're veering away from what God is trying for us to do. That's why we got to build the Spirit strong enough, so the Spirit that has the same power when the flesh comes, because the flesh is comfortable to us. You know, it's easy for us to do things of the flesh because it's easy. The devil gives us everything we want. God gives us what we need, like Deacon Pat said earlier. You know, so do we really strive for what we want, or do we like our needs? That's the choice we battle all the time. You know, we have this want. God said, you need this. As far as, if you wait a little bit of while, I'll get you this house. It may not be a mansion, but this is what you need, because there's people on this side I want you to touch. But we looking at, then the devil will come in, give you a nice job, this big old house, but ain't nobody over there trying to be saved. Which side do you choose? You got the big house, you got all the things you need, but what are you really gaining? So that's what I got from that scripture. Now I see what he's saying. That's what he gave me about what is a man to gain the world and lose his own soul, is that you can have everything you want here, but spiritually, what did you get? You know that thing, man, when I seen that, I just sat back, man, and I just seen my daughter, man, and she did that, man. I was like, man, because I prayed to God angry. You understand? I asked about it, like, is that wrong? But I'm like, God, man, I'm doing what you want me to do. I'm trying, I'm praying. Where's the blessing at in this situation? I don't care about no car. I don't care about no job. I don't care about nothing else. I just want her to be in your hands. That's it. I was like, why is this so hard? I'm not asking for what a lot of people are asking for. And not knowing that he like, you got to get right. You got to get more stronger. Because when I do give her, when she give herself to you, you're going to have to be equipped to guide her more than what you already know. When I first started, if I'm just learning and I don't know nothing, I don't got no real, I'm just drinking water and Similac, and I'm just only drinking that, and I have nothing solid in my system, it's not sticking. is going in, is coming in and going out. So I didn't know that. He was like, you know what? Keep reading. Keep reading. Keep reading. Let this stuff become second nature to you. And sure enough, the minute she gave her life to God, she's like, I want to know God. Give me something on God. Tell me about him so I could tell somebody else. Now, if she would have asked me that when I asked God to give her, I would have had to been flipping and flipping. I mainly probably would have went over stuff I heard in Sunday school and what Trav preached about. But it wasn't from what God was telling me. It would have been what I heard. So I'd have been like, hold on, I think this one is in Corinthians. And then she probably would be like, how can I believe in a God you don't even know about? You know, we could easily tell somebody else about God, but do we know him? How can I go to somebody else? How can I go to somebody else and do this with the kids and do this and do that and my daughter not receiving it? The flesh would think as if she ain't receiving him, he must another person on the inside when we go in the house. So that's why it was stressing me so much. Like, man, I'm not doing nothing, but you would think I am because of what everybody sees. But then when I said, you know what? I don't care. God, you want me to do this? I'm going to do this whether anybody think a certain way or not. I'm going to do what you want me to do. You want me to study this? That's what I'm going to do. Study this. If she's acting up, when the time comes, so be it. I'm going to just keep doing what I need to do. People going to think what they want anyway. Whether you do good or you do bad, something is going to be wrong with somebody. And when I did that, and I prayed one more time, I just said, look, man, God, I give up. Whenever she ready to do it, so be it. I'm done. I was like, look, I prayed to you, I'll let you do it. And that same day I said that is when she did it. Not when I'm like, God, I pray, man, why is this ain't happening? No, this when I gave it to him. The biggest present I could have ever got right there. To know that all my kids are straight. They gonna go straight. That ain't no thing. Who don't? But they promised the first class ticket that. That's why I like Sunday school, because when you study, God dealing with you firsthand. That's why I like this church, because you can't come up here with no garbage. Y'all may not say nothing, but you can see the reaction when you say something crazy. You know, so that's what I was like, oh man. So I make sure I look at everything I'm saying before I come up here. Because that first time I came up, I didn't know that. Y'all just follow along. Usually, the church I used to go, this is the one that helped me. I'm going to just give y'all this last one. 1 Peter, chapter 2, 19 through 23. This one helped me a lot when it comes to you're dealing with stuff you think that you doubt yourself, where something going wrong in your life and you think it's because you've done something wrong. And this is the important part that I learned right here. It says, for this is thankworthy if a man for conscience toward God endures grief, suffering wrongfully. For what glory is it when ye be buffeted for your faults? Ye shall take it patiently. But when ye do well and suffer for it, ye take it patiently. This is acceptable with God. For even hereunto ye called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example, that ye should follow his steps. Who do no sin, neither was Job found in his mouth. Who was he reviled not again. When he suffered, he threatened not, but committed himself to him that judged righteously. So, you know, when we go through stuff, man, we just got to put our chin up and just know, don't go on a fleshly decision. I ain't